Well, the Big 33, you're right. Everybody knows the football game because of it's the sport. It's what they know. But what people don't know is that we've given over $4 million in academic scholarships since 1985. The Buddy program was introduced also in 1985. That's probably the most rewarding part of Big 33 is pairing up the special needs buddies and the players and leaving those lasting impressions. Also the host families that make this thing go and welcome the kids into their homes. So all of those elements that have been spurred with the football game make a big difference with this. But I think the lasting impressions, everybody goes, what makes this game better than any other game? And I think it's the experience from the host families, the buddies, the scholarships, and the friendships that they do. It's more than that game of just showing up and practicing and playing. It was started in 1985. We go out and talk to different special needs kids, and we go through all the communities. We've reached out as far as Pittsburgh, other states, and had buddies come in. Well, a lot of them are from Central PA because they know the program. We'll take any of the special needs kids. They apply, we pair them up with an athlete, a cheerleader, and the memories that it leaves is not only for the buddy, being able to look up to an athlete and seeing them play on Saturday or cheer on Saturday, or eventually watching them play on Sunday in most cases, and say, hey, that was my buddy, and the pictures, and a lot of them stay in touch with them. But what it does for the athlete, for them to understand how special and gifted they are, and how a buddy can get up every day with some of the problems that they may have, and they're just happy.
When you experience the buddy program, you see all these kids smiling, laughing, having a good time, and when you think about it to yourself, it's just like some of these kids won't ever experience what I will be able to experience in my life with sports, high school, college life,
Just the basic motor skills,
basic motor skills,
basic things,
and it really opens your heart to see that, how blessed you truly are. And that's what it really did to me, just to, football is not always about life, it's more life than football, I should say. And that's what really opened my eyes.
I'm Tyrese Spearman. I go to McDowell High School in Erie, PA. I play cornerback. This is my buddy, number 8.
Yes, I am Sergio Mansell. I am 15.
He's 15. He's going to be in high school this year. He just had fun playing a football game. They tied.
Explain to me, you know, a few of the keys to you know, how you coached him up going into, what jewels did you give him going into the game?
Jules, I gave him, me and Noah just told him, you know, when you're on defense, you want to get your, what's the mean face? Get the mean face going on and just chase the kids around, whoever has the ball fast enough. He made plays out there, that's all it was.
Host families, I mean, what a great concept. You know, a lot of these athletes come in, they may have never been away from home yet. They may have never stayed with anybody else yet, but to come into a stranger's home, and on both sides, the athlete to come into a stranger's home and them not know anybody, but then a family to host an athlete that they have never met, bring them in, they treat them like a son or daughter in some cases. You know, they do their laundry, feed them, take them back and forth, you know, for that full week of, you know, one of the best experiences I can say is one of our alumni, Robbie Gould, who kicks for Chicago Bears. His host father at the time went on to become his best man at his wedding.
Oh, I'm just looking forward to, you know, meeting someone, a family that hopefully I'll know for the rest of my life.
I think I'll do pretty great because I'm going to the Air Force Academy and I'll have basically the same exact thing when I go there. I'll have a sponsor family that I spend a couple days with here and there when I get free time. So it's basically a little bit of training right before I go there.
I heard from one of my friends from they played the alumni played last year.
Exactly,
My man Kyle LeVere, he told me that's the best experience that you can experience coming out of high school right before college is the best thing to get you prepared.
I already met my host family, great people. My host family also had Andrew Nelson last year. He's an offensive lineman for Penn State this year, and I'm pretty close with him, so that's pretty cool.
So your host family already has some history and tradition with Penn State.
Yeah, they're Penn State fans, so that's pretty cool.
It's been going great. It's a real good experience. Mr. and Mrs. Trees treated me so well. You know, it's a nice, beautiful house. Always feed me, always wash my clothes every day. So it's kind of like almost having your own maid, but it gets you ready for the next level. I haven't, like my coach always told us, we have about a week jumping on the new guys. We get to feel how it feels to be away from home.
Exactly.
So, you know, not try to be too homesick.
We actually taught with Mickey Minnick, the first executive director.
And Coach Minnick,
And when they first decided on the host families, you had a lot of young men from all over the state. And I don't care how big they are, they're still their mom's little boys. And it's scary to send your child off to a strange house. And Mickey said, would you guys be interested? You're city school teachers. You know, we have kids coming in from all over. And we said yes, and we've been doing it ever since.
Just having that family bond for a week is a wonderful thing.
And every child that we've had stay with us has been just a great young man. And it's nice to be able to see them and stay in contact with them long after that week. Again, it's a lot more than football. It's a lot more than football.
It's a lot more than football.
Yeah, I think in this day and age, you see kids that are really good at sports, either in high school or getting, you know, athletic scholarships at college, and you think they're all about them and selfish, and you know, because you kind of always see the bad things on TV when it comes to that. And I think the most surprising thing is how down to earth most of these kids are. You know, how
they're all incredibly humble.
Very humble. No matter what background they have, where they're from, where they went to school, they just seem to be really humbled by the game and the experience.
It really becomes more of a lifelong thing because you know, we have kept in touch with some of them throughout the years, and they, you know, it's fun to get an email out of the blue from a young man that you haven't heard from in a couple years.
It's not like having a guest or a visitor in your house. It's like having another son for the week. And the player really becomes your son for the week. They live by your rules, and we do family things. We grill and swim and hang out and watch TV, play
Sit and
games.
talk.
Gotcha.
It's a great week.
Back when we first started hosting, when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, it was a little awkward at first, and like it'd take you a while to warm up to him, and like you would get comfortable with him like Thursday and Friday night, and then Saturday has to leave. So like, I mean, now I get comfortable with him like tonight, like watching the NBA Finals, I'll start getting comfortable.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's definitely fun. It's like having an older brother for a week.
Yeah, the kids would actually be upset when our player left when they were younger.
Yeah.
Because it was such a, they got real close to the kids.
Yeah.
And leaving was tough back then. I'm sure it is now. They probably just don't show it.
And if anyone ever has the opportunity to be able to be as lucky as we are to be host families,
Of course.
we should really take the opportunity and enjoy.
The scholarship piece of this, we give scholarships to the states that participate in the game. So right now it's Pennsylvania, Maryland. We'll get about 7,000 applicants a year. We reach out to all the people in each school district. 653 in Pennsylvania. I think it's 373 the counselors in Maryland. We start that process in November of letting people know what scholarships are available, how they can apply for them, and that goes all the way through March. And then we have a scholarship committee that meets in April to decide who gets the scholarships. Scholarships are based on financial need, academics. None of the money goes to the actual athletes, and I think that's the most unique thing, because these athletes are getting money on their own. We may give them exposure and help them through that, and we're certainly a piece of that. But the money that is generated because of what the foundation does for scholarships goes to those in need in academic scholarships. Probably the biggest thing that may stand out to me was in the 2013 game. We had a pair of brothers from the Maryland team, and the one Maryland player on Buddy Day actually was injured and had to go to the hospital for a checkup. Well, his buddy had showed up and couldn't find him. And just was upset. We told him, we gave him his jersey, everything like that, but it was just kind of distraught because he didn't get to meet his athlete. Looking forward to all year. Without anybody ever saying anything, his brother, who wasn't twins but looked very similar.
The player's brother.
The player's brother went into the locker room, changed his jersey, and came out and went to that buddy. So that the buddy would have that experience. That is probably one of the most.
I don't know what can top
on both sides of it. When you sit there and say a player, to know that would make enough of a difference to the buddy, but the player to do that. remember legendary coach Joe Paterno. I got to meet him and talk with him. And I said, Joe, why do you let the kids play? And he was very selfish to a certain point, but got the whole thing. He goes, every kid that I've gotten at Penn State from the Big 33 came in better prepared for the college career for 2 reasons. And I said, what was that, coach? He said, number one, athletically, we get everybody in, we tell them they're the best recruit, best wide receiver ever, best anything that you can do. And that first week or first 2 weeks of camp, they realize these kids are as good as me. He goes, you take that out of them that week of Big 33.
Yeah, took that off the checklist.
Off his list. So now they're willing to learn, you know, our rules.
More open, yeah.
But they then also, because of the experience with the buddies and the host families and being away from home for a week, he said they just come in so much more mature, so much more ready, and they have an experience to talk about with everybody and to do that. When you hear stories 30 years from now and athletes tell me they're in locker rooms talking about the Big 33 and buddies talking about those experiences and scholarship winners that say I probably couldn't have got into college without some of this money, that makes a difference. And that's why we're here, and that's what continues to drive me every day to continue to try to make this thing better and work and maintain all of those experiences and try to add a few more.